The Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals is a show that brings all different kinds of muscle cars together. Obviously, some are earlier muscle cars than others, like the early 60s cars. And Zach, you brought out a Starliner that is just insane.
Well, hey, thanks for the compliment, yeah. And thanks for it being your pick.
Well, I like this car, and this
cool.
did become my pick of the show.
Yeah, thank you.
So the Starliner, what I always liked about it is, of course, the sloping rear window. And
right.
When I saw it in person, it just blew me away.
Well, thank you. Well, had the opportunity to do this restoration for George Poteet. So, good friend and just a neat guy. I mean, they've often said if you get to do a job for George, it's sort of you've arrived. But it's like I never really went on the journey. I'm a lumber salesman, and just had an opportunity through some friends to meet George, and a lot of help putting this car together. So yeah,
it's a 61.
Yep.
And what's under the hood?
390. It's the original motor that was born with the car. Yeah.
But it's got a different air cleaner.
It does. It does. Has a 57 T-Bird air cleaner.
Okay.
We took some creative license with the car. George is not interested in really a total, perfectly restored car. He likes to drive them. So we did power disc brakes. It has ride tech shocks and pretty big sway bars,
Yeah.
So, yeah. So as you know, being a Galaxy owner, they tend to float a
Little bit,
lot,
yeah.
and this one sticks to the road pretty good. So.
Well, the cool thing about that T-Bird air cleaner is it looks very much like the 352 Hypo.
It does.
Air cleaner that you could have got
Yeah.
on that Starliner.
Yeah. This one we cheated a little bit. We got the look, but a lot of people recognize, especially the T-Bird guys come by and the other Galaxy guys say, it's not right. It's like, what wasn't meant to be.
No.
So, yeah.
It's right.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Okay,
There's
good.
nothing wrong about this car.
Okay.
The color is unbelievable,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the paint and body finish.
Yeah, we did. We used Axalta Metalux paint, and we had to match behind the taillight. There was one repaint on the car. So we matched behind the taillight, and it came out to be a Cambridge blue was what the original color was, which converted to a Axalta called something Groon, which means it's a BMW color.
Oh,
yeah.
wow, really?
So, yeah. So it's green.
That's a current factory color?
Yes, that's a current factory color.
And the trim is off the charts.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, there's so much stainless on this car. You really get a chance to do a lot of polishing. Fortunately, I had a guy that worked and he was an industrial polisher, and he did all the polish and trim. And then we took some creative things. We chrome plated some of the stainless. Hubcaps on these things are those little poverty caps are really hard to get a nice, good, even flush.
Yes.
So we chrome plated them.
Did you do the grill too?
Yeah, the grill's been. It's got some things. Yeah, we chrome plated the grill. We chrome plated the taillight buckets. A lot of little pieces. The windshield wipers. It's like I really didn't care for that color, so I just said let's plate them.
Nice.
So yeah.
Well, all that stuff just looks like jewelry on this car.
Thank you.
And it makes it look so new and so crisp.
Yeah, thank you.
And then, of course, the interior. Right. So is any of that still original? Or?
No, we had to redo it. One thing that's uniquely different, too, is the blue Starliner, the blue Galaxies, the inset in the seat never did match the door panel. So we worked through the manufacturer, couldn't really, because you can't buy seat covers for that car, you have to make them. And so we ended up actually using door panel material for the inset. So it's vinyl. It looks cloth, but it's actually vinyl.
Well, it looks great.
Thank you.
And yeah, I know that deal when the inset of the seat and the panel are off just enough to where it's like, is that a mistake or what happened?
Yeah. And Ford never got it right, but I hate to say that, we did. So
well, you guys really good.
Thank you.
Tell me, who did the paint and body work on it?
It was Devils Bowl Autobody in Cremora, Virginia. Small little two-man shop. The guy that shot the paint, he works for Little Debbie, and he's a maintenance guy. He works third shift, and he would come in and work on this. What's amazing was he did all the body work, all the suspension, took rust pits away. We overdid everything that we could. Spent a lot of time on panel gaps.
Well, it's a win, and all those little details add up to a car that it looks like what it was supposed to be.
Right.
You know, and if you didn't know these cars, you would think, oh, that's a nice one. And then you'd look at a production version and go,
Right.
what happened?
Yeah. We overdid it. I mean, Scott Balsley and I, we partnered on the car, and we just had a blast. I mean, he builds houses and I sell building materials, so we know each other through that. But we just spent a lot of evenings together and just built a great friendship. You know, my friend Hutch, who's, who works for George Poteet, put it together. He was my parts guy. Kept the ball rolling to where we could still keep our full-time jobs and build a car of that caliber.
That's impressive.
So, yeah, thank you.
And basically out of your home garage facility.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which
Yeah,
is a big garage, but still. So the last little detail I want to call out is the front license plate. And so at Bonneville this past year, I was talking to George about another he has that has a modern chassis and an LS engine designed to look like an FE motor.
Right.
Actually, that was designed to look like a Y-block. His
other
one. But this is the real deal, FE under the hood. So that's why the license plate is not an LS.
Well, he called me midway through the build and he says, I'm sending you an LS3. Let's put it in there. And it's like, I mean, 60,000 miles surviving Starliner. Engine was, and what saved me was Hutch had already got the engine for me built by Jeff Burns, and it was done.
Nice.
And I told you, it's like that just sort of saved me from having to put an LS in it.
Yeah.
It runs so great. Is it the little 390 torque motor? So
I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah, thank you.
So,
we hope not.
Well, Zach, thanks for bringing it out.
Yeah, you got it.
Congratulations on
Thank you.
some awesome work.
Appreciate it.
I already told him, but tell George I really dig this car. Not that matters to him, but it's really, really nice.
We'll tell him.
And I hope you're having a great time.
Having a blast.
Show,
Having
man.
an absolute blast.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you.